Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller Grotner Plummer Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Maller Grotner Plummer Attorneys, understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. On the web at lawngp.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu. Smithville, fiber internet, security solutions, and voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson, attorneys at law since 1949, utilizing experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.
Coming up on Indiana Newsdesk. Dora Hospitality has 1 month to put plans on the table for the host hotel for the convention center expansion.
In many of our communities in the state of Indiana, the opening volley is we have land, infrastructure, and tax abatement. Will you please come here?
Ahead, we'll talk with the president of the Capital Improvement Board about the project. Mendoza-Mania has hit Indiana after the Hoosier quarterback was named the Heisman Trophy winner last weekend.
Hey, it's congrats, all this stuff. Hey, let's go. We did it. We got the trophy. Now it's on to the real trophy.
The Hoosiers' focus now turns to the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. And a statue of Ryan White, who became the poster child for HIV/AIDS in the 1980s, will go up in front of the Indiana Memorial Union. We'll have these stories and more right now on Indiana Newsdesk. Welcome to Indiana Newsdesk. I'm Joe Wren. The city said no deal with Dora on the convention center host hotel this week. Dora Hospitality says it can't build the hotel the convention center needs without incentives. But incentives are something the city doesn't want to entertain.
In many of our communities in the state of Indiana, the opening volley is we have land, infrastructure, and tax abatement. Will you please come here?
Now, some say that incentive money could be better used for more important needs. The city's redevelopment commission expressed formal support for the project, but left out any land incentives. Well, we're joined now by John Weichart, the president of the Capital Improvement Board, which is overseeing this entire project. John, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate
it.
So let's just walk this through a little bit. The RDC approved a resolution earlier this week saying it would help kind of find a middle ground to move this forward. But they left out any type of incentive. But it's not out of the question. Could the hotelier go back to the RDC and present something in order to get some type of incentive for that land?
They could. The real issue isn't the RDC's position is they still want the $7 million for the land to recover the original purchase price for it. The hotel developer's struggle is, as I'm developing the hotel, I've got a $7 million upfront cost, and I'm trying to see where else I can make reductions that we've permitted them to make, and then how do I fill that gap, that incentive gap? So the hotel's coming back to the RDC, or we'll continue to have conversations with the RDC about what other incentives, if possible, there are, while the hotelier is going to have to also find perhaps additional private investment to help with that funding.
And incentives aren't a surprise. Other cities do this, but it seems like what was said at the meeting that this seemed to come to a shock to Bloomington officials.
Yeah, and surprisingly so, I guess. Yeah. As I said in the meeting, other communities, and what we compete against is other communities would say, we need a host hotel to come to our community, and here's what we're offering you. Whether that be, here's land, here's infrastructure, here's tax abatements. In Bloomington, we're saying, you want to come here, you give us $7 million. And so that's a different approach to all of this. It's certainly, it's a fair approach if that's the way Bloomington wants to approach it. Back to the RDC resolution, the problem with their resolution was the original goal of the resolution was to create a ceiling that said, here's exactly what we can offer you. And to signal the CIB and the hotel developer, here's exactly what we can offer you no more. They failed to do that. What they actually did was said, here's what we've offered you to date, and we're still willing to talk about other things. So they really didn't move the ball down the field, if you will. Since we're still in football season, they didn't move the ball down the field.
You know, I did talk with Mayor Carrie Thompson about this as well on Tuesday. She said the land wouldn't be a gift, it's an incentive, and serious conversations need to take place. Let's take a listen.
We should ensure that we have the highest level of private investment, and we should also be talking to the county about what part they might be able to play in incentivizing a hotel.
So are there any private or county incentives?
You know, I would suggest that, that the county's incentives have already been provided from the standpoint that the county donated the land where we're expanding the convention center. So they donated those parcels of land that are bordered by College, Walnut, and 3rd Street, and that's where steel is going up and where we're building right now. I think the request has actually been, is the county willing to give up other tax revenues? Innkeeper's tax has been mentioned. It's been mentioned by the council, and that question's been asked and answered.
And then really quick, what's next? What happens now before the next meeting in January?
Yeah, we've told the hotel developer, since we've been told that they don't see a path forward, nor does the city at this point with the Bunger-Robertson property. So we've said to the developer, we still have property to the south and to the west that were in the original request for proposals that would be granted to you to build a hotel that don't have a $7 million price tag on them. Are you interested in those properties? Can you make this happen on those properties? And we've given the developer till our January 21st meeting to answer that question. In the meantime, that same 5-week period can be used by the developer to talk to the RDC about whether that deal can still be made on the Bunger-Robertson property.
John, thanks so much for coming in today.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, Mendoza-Mania has hit Indiana after the Hoosier quarterback was named the Heisman Trophy winner last weekend. As Aubrey Wright reports, his success has led to some fun on campus.
Indiana University's Fernando Mendoza is back on campus with his Heisman Trophy in tow. The quarterback won the award as college football's most outstanding player last Saturday. But now the hoopla has died down. Mendoza and the Hoosiers are turning their attention to the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day.
We understand that we need to be humble and hungry. Hey, it's congrats, all this stuff. Hey, let's go. We did it. We got the trophy. Now it's on to the real trophy, or the season's trophy, which is the national championship.
Mendoza led the Hoosiers to a 13-0 record, the Big Ten championship, a #1 national ranking, and the top seed in the college football playoffs. His success has spawned interest in the Cal transfer, who could become the top pick in next year's NFL draft. Last weekend, 3 men showed up at the Showalter Fountain for a Fernando Mendoza look-alike contest. The winner was IU senior Max Augustini.
More and more people have told me I look like him, which, again, I don't really believe I do, maybe a little bit. And then my family joined in on it and said I have to go. I'd be letting down the family if I didn't go. So I decided that probably best to show up and try to win.
The competition included seeing who could throw a football the farthest, a sprinting race, and a mock pregame interview. He prepared for the interview by watching some of Mendoza's previous interviews.
The voice cracks, I know he does that. Trying to thank God, which he does before every interview, and just thank his friends and be very jolly. I think it's kind of the vibe I was going for.
This time next month, he could be the look-alike of a national champion. For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Aubrey Wright.
Top-seeded Indiana will play the winner of tonight's Oklahoma-Alabama college football playoff game. That's in the Rose Bowl, January 1st. Well, we're joined now by Olivia Wilson for the latest headlines from around the state. Hi, Olivia.
Hi, Joe. Thank you for having me. Bloomington Mayor Carrie Thompson says the city has planned to remove a homeless encampment in Browns Woods since summer. As Joe Wren reports, the city cleared the area a couple of weeks ago, but questions remain about a long-term solution.
Officials say the area was unsafe and inaccessible for emergency services.
We've been working with them in collaboration, in lockstep with the homeless service providers, and helping getting people relocated, et cetera.
The area is on the city's west side, south of AMC Classic and east of I-69. Thompson says the city gave 30 days notice, and by the time workers came to clear the area, nobody was left.
we have to do just a 72-hour notice, we commit to at least a 30-day, we coordinate with service providers, and we really make sure that people are cared for in the process and are offered as much dignity as possible.
Shelter leaders say moving people from encampments doesn't address long-term solutions. Thompson says the city is working on providing a spectrum of housing needs to help drive affordable housing.
We have to work both short-term on people who are in crisis now and long-term to really stimulate the production of the kinds of houses that we do need in order to create some movement in the market.
The county was also planning to remove an unhoused encampment on the Thompson property on the south side of Bloomington, but decided not to after public outcry.
The Centers for Disease and Control recently voted to remove a decades-long recommendation to give the hepatitis B vaccine to newborns. The vaccine is normally given to newborns within 24 hours of birth and protects against hepatitis B, which attacks the liver and can be deadly. About 90% of infants who get infected at birth develop a chronic hepatitis B infection.
They are most at risk of developing a chronic hepatitis B infection if exposed. And so giving that birth dose is really important. You've got the baby in the hospital. The mom doesn't have to bring the baby back for, a visit for that. So you're making sure that child is protected.
Dearth still recommends all newborns get the vaccine. Supplemental pay for Monroe County School Community Corporation teachers in Title I schools will decrease from $2,000 to $1,000 for the 2025-2026 school year. Isabella Vesperini has more on how this decision was made and its implications.
Title I is a federal program providing financial support to schools with a high number of low-income students. MCCSC has paid for these supplements from the Education Fund, which is funded by per-pupil student support payments from the state. There are 7 Title I schools in the corporation, including Templeton, Fairview, and Summit. At the school board meeting this week, board members voted unanimously to reduce supplemental pay for teachers in these schools amid state budget cuts.
I don't think that this was an easy decision for any of us, and that I regret that we are in the position where we have to consider this.
Even though all board members voted in favor of the reduction, they had qualms doing so.
I'm just not comfortable with it. I know we have to do it, but I don't like it.
Board President April Hennessy agreed.
We implemented this because we understood those, particular challenges, especially in retention. But I do think that we know that at this point, we are in this spot where we have to make these kinds of fiscal decisions in order to, be able to make other sorts of offerings.
About 225 teachers are affected. Starting next year, no supplemental pay will be offered for teachers in Title I schools.
What are the alternative sources? It seems to us that the legislature with this just has one more notch on their belt of public education dismantlement.
Teachers already won't be receiving a base salary raise for the next 2 years.
What then can be done to help retain the teachers who work hard every day directly with the population of our most school-dependent kids?
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Isabella Vesperini.
The next board meeting is scheduled for January 27th at 6 p.m. The Greene County Hospital is ending its labor and delivery services at the end of next month. The hospital's CEO says the decision was driven by staffing shortages and ongoing financial losses tied to Medicaid cuts and low insurance reimbursements.
Until we see those changes of really increasing Medicaid reimbursement, supporting our rural hospitals the way that they should be supported, and holding accountability for those payers, we're going to continue to see our communities lose access to care.
Expectant mothers will have to travel 30 to 45 minutes to surrounding hospitals to give birth. Emergency room staff will be trained to handle emergency baby deliveries. Most OB nurses will move to other hospital roles, and the hospital says it is not at risk of closing. Musical Family Tree has been around since 2004, but it's still branching out. The nonprofit focuses entirely on gathering local music, and Aubrey Wright has more on its work today.
Musical Family Tree has been digitizing a crowdsourced archive of local musicians for more than 2 decades. It has more than 100,000 recordings today. The tree started with Bloomington's rock scene, but its mission is spreading all Indiana music.
The diversity in the music and the people and the culture and all of these things that make Indiana music so special is really what Musical Family Tree is about.
Taylor says the nonprofit has grown beyond its roots, but original music made by Hoosiers remains the focus. For example, Musical Family Tree supports live performances and provides funding for recording studio access.
There's so much good music coming out of Indiana. It's really a shame that more people don't know about it.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Aubrey Wright.
And Joe, the Monroe County Public Library was recently added as a new partner. It will help expand the Musical Family Tree archive.
Olivia, thank you so much. Your last show with us.
I know, it's crazy. It's gone by so fast.
We really appreciated you. Thank you so much. Coming up next on Indiana Newsdesk, a statue of Hoosier native and HIV/AIDS poster child Ryan White will be erected outside the Indiana Memorial Union. We'll have this story and more right here on Indiana Newsdesk.
It's time to go to work.
It's the defining event of our history.
This is the story of modern war and how it's changing us.
We've opened the secrets of the universe.
We can do remarkable things together.
We have never wasted our time together.
Be not afraid of greatness!
Mission accomplished.
Hello, I'm Todd Gould, Senior Producer Director at WTIU. I've personally devoted nearly 40 years of my life producing PBS arts and documentary films about important stories from Indiana. The arts, history, and people that make Hoosiers great. Despite government cutbacks, we will never stop telling Indiana stories, your stories. Please donate now to keep this station strong. Become a sustaining monthly member at WTIU.org.
Welcome back to Indiana Newsdesk. There are almost 26,000 transgender adults in Indiana, according to the UCLA Williams Institute, just under half of 1% of the state. While legislation in recent years has targeted trans youth, older transgender adults contend with both growing visibility and rising hostility. Now, last year, Ethan Sandwise spoke with transgendered Hoosiers and had this story.
So I thought, well, God, this is just a sin, and I need to try harder, and it's just me. And it wasn't until later that I realized that this has been through history.
Jones grew up in rural Brown County long before sex and gender were discussed in public. She came of age in a religious community and had nobody with whom she could share her experience.
My earliest memories, this was a battle. I mean, 3 years old, this was a battle. Just no one knew.
Rebecca Haviland was raised by a conservative family in Salem.
It was very confusing for me as a little kid because no one was explaining to me why I was being attacked.
For transgender youth living before the internet, there was hardly any information available for them to understand their identity. They scoured dictionaries, textbooks, and porno magazines.
After a football game, I'd go home and cry because I was wearing pads rather than being part of the cheer squad.
Pedrell is the first openly elected transgender official in Indiana history. Like Jones, she was married before her transition and presenting as male. Others like Haviland risked harassment and abuse by presenting openly as trans from a young age.
Even if only privately to themselves, they intuitively understand this is just what the kid is. Even if they don't understand beating the child without ever explaining why.
Researchers coined the term transgender in 1965, but until the 1990s they were mainly referred to as transsexual. Transgender Hoosiers sought community within gay and lesbian spaces in cities such as Indianapolis, Bloomington, and South Bend.
We had a bar called Bullwinkle's. Before it moved to West 5th, West 3rd, it was downtown in a little building, and I would go there.
These encounters with queer culture were often discreet. Trans adults worried about the reaction from their communities, especially in rural parts of Indiana.
My ex-wife had told a girlfriend of ours, and No one knew. And she was drunk at a party, and it was just too juicy for her to contain, and so she told everyone.
For transgender people in Indiana prisons, the situation could be even more dire. Haviland spent nearly 30 years incarcerated. Until the 2012 Prison Rape Elimination Act, all trans women were housed with male inmates, a practice that still continues in some places today.
Sometimes you would have staff or gang members like, okay, let's move this trainee over from this working housing unit, put them in a dorm controlled by their gang, just for sport.
Despite the risks, many trans Hoosiers choose to live openly as their gender, navigating life among both left-leaning and conservative friends.
I've done my best, especially since getting elected in 2019, to be out and representing in places that aren't always so familiar.
After she was outed, Jones opened Rachel's Cafe, one of the most visibly queer spaces in Bloomington. She continues to live among friends and neighbors she's known her whole life.
Things have changed so much, and growing up thinking how my life would be ruined if anyone knew in Brown County, and now I walk down the street and somebody honks that's driving by because they're a friend. Who'd have thought?
I believe that in their minds, I'm kind of their token. You know, trans people in general are like, make them feel uncomfortable, but they're okay with me.
Jones and Haviland describe acceptance by friends and family who still espouse transphobic ideas on social media. Haviland says that in spite of greater visibility, not much has changed from the perspective of a trans woman living without secure housing.
I never experienced so much bigotry, so much conservative bigotry in Bloomington until I was out pounding the street every single day, trying to get a job.
The political landscape is changing. While transgender Hoosiers are living visibly in a way that many never felt possible, recent legislation in Indiana and other states has them worried for the future.
I've thought of places out of the country that would be a place to go, but I have a community here, and a lot of my friends are politically right-wing.
But even though they've thought about leaving, many would rather stay and fight.
Well, of course I have, and then on the other hand, of course, why should I? I mean, I've been a pride warrior my whole life, and I got the scars to prove it.
Pedrell is now running for Indiana's Senate. She wants young transgender people to enter politics, not just to defend their own rights, but to advocate for causes they care about beyond their gender identity.
I love this community too much to leave here. I love the state too much to leave here.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Ethan Sandweiss.
Legendary Hoosier figure Ryan White will continue to be remembered on Indiana University's campus. A bronze sculpture of White will be installed next spring in the Indiana Memorial Union. Natalie Fitzgibbons has the details.
White was unable to attain his dream of attending IU. He contracted AIDS from a contaminated blood treatment when he was 13 and died in 1990, 1 month before his high school graduation. White faced intense discrimination and fought for fair treatment for himself and others with HIV and AIDS. William Yarber, an IU public health provost professor, proposed the idea of a Ryan White sculpture. He says he saw the work done by sculptor Melanie Pennington of IU as she completed the Alfred Kinsey sculpture now placed near Lindley Hall.
I thought, gosh, through the decades, people will see the Alfred Kinsey sculpture and say, we ought to have one for Ryan, because he wanted to go to school here. And so I found the right team to do that.
Pennington has spent numerous hours a week working on the clay version of the sculpture since this fall. She says she's also spent about 200 hours of research to ensure White is not only physically captured, but his spirit is as well.
He was a teenage boy, right? But he was just wide, he was so present, wide open, present. And you can see it. You can see it in these eyes that are staring from the wall behind me.
Pennington has titled the sculpture Keep Going, which embodies the energy White had. The statue will be of White wearing a jean jacket with his hair spiky and carrying an IU backpack. It will also be interactive. People will be able to leave or pick up notes of encouragement from the sculpture.
The other part of his message and the part that's so beautiful about him, that he was encouraging people to educate themselves to fight fear.
Pennington hopes this will be another way to ensure White is not forgotten and to keep his story alive.
I think having representations of hope in the face of these cruelties is very emotional and essential. Like it gives us a reminder of why it matters to be kind.
For Indiana Newsdesk, I'm Natalie Fitzgibbons.
That's the end of this program, but our work continues online as we cover the news throughout the week at WTIUnews.org. A special programming note, we will not be here with Indiana Newsdesk next week. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season. We'll see you in the new year.
Indiana Newsdesk is made possible in part by Maller-Grotner Plummer Attorneys, providing legal services to clients and the community. Maller-Grotner Plummer Attorneys, understanding, expertise, results. Bloomington and Indianapolis. On the web at lawngp.com. IU Center for Rural Engagement, extending IU Bloomington resources to improve Hoosier lives in partnership with communities and organizations. rural.indiana.edu. Smithville, fiber internet, security solutions, and voice in Southern Indiana. More information at smithville.com. Bunger and Robertson, attorneys at law since 1949, utilizing experience, knowledge, and resources to help individuals and families recover in personal injury matters. Information at lawbr.com. And by WTIU members. Thank you.